What's going on the Hollywood picket line? Well, the news, it's not great. It's not great. If the strike does not get resolved, according to a former executive, well, the industry is basically going to just die, which, hey man, as somebody who has only just a little bit of interest when it comes to the Hollywood productions that are out there, if it just mostly all burns, which is kind of ironic given the fact that the only production that I care about is House of the Dragon Season 2, but if it all goes up in smoke, well, what of real value is going to be lost? Hard to say, really. It's it's a complete machination of their own doing. And I do apologize for my absolutely atrocious voice at this point in time. Slowly but surely coming around. But all this news, all this information just has to be disseminated, so I appreciate you guys putting up with it for the time being. But a failure to resolve twin strikes at the Writers and Screen Actors Guild, or the Film Actors Guild, whatever you want to refer to it as, could lead to devastating effects if no deal is reached soon, according to billionaire media mogul Barry Diller. On July 14th, a number of top movie and TV actors joined the picket lines alongside screenwriters for the first full day of the walkout. That has become Hollywood's biggest labor fight in decades, since the 80s. The last time that there were simultaneous strikes with the writers and the actors. I'm sorry, I was underselling it. I guess that was the last time that the actors went on strike. Because back during the, late 2000s was when the writers went on strike last time. And boy, there's been such great output since that last strike went on. Anyways, the two guilds have similar issues, the studios and streaming services. Yeah, there's been a bunch of people whining and complaining. Oh, our residuals of streaming services, they're just not that good. I wrote an episode of She-Hulk and all I got was like $400. Which, man, I didn't think criminals ended up getting paid for their acts of terror on the population, but whatever. You know what you can glean from that type of situation? You make a show for streaming. Or if you sell the rights to a streaming service and you get laughable residuals, it kind of just goes to show you the streaming bubble, well, it's kind of burst. There's way too many services that are out there and ain't nobody really watching all that stuff. They sign up for it. They love to tout their subscriber base. Oh, we have millions of subscribers, hundreds of millions of subscribers. But is anybody watching that stuff? We got hundreds of millions of subscribers. All right, then. The Alliance of Motion Picture at SAG-AFTRA. Okay, AFTRA. That's what we're talking about here, which represents employers, including Disney, Netflix, Amazon, and others. Lamented the walkout, saying it'll hurt thousands and thousands of workers. I like the studios give a fuck about the rank and file individuals. Like, shut the fuck up. In industries that support film and television production, Mr. Diller, a former Paramount Pictures CEO. So this guy he's a mover and shaker. He knows some things. Said on July 16th that the situation could compound if not resolved quickly. These conditions will potentially produce an absolute collapse of an entire industry, he told CBS News. I would call for a September 1st deadline. There's a strike deadline. I think there should be a settlement deadline, because unless it happens by September 1st, the truth is, huge business both domestically and for world export. These conditions will potentially produce an absolute collapse of an entire industry. Oh no, big Hollywood productions got too big and then they ended up failing, and now they're going to have to rationalize and live with the repercussions of their stupid actions. Oh no, won't somebody please come and bail out Hollywood? No, sorry, bro. All of your government bailout money is still going to Ukraine, so you better just, chill and, come to the negotiation tables for a second. However, settlement in the near future appears unlikely. He said there's no trust between the parties, with their existential issues, including the rise of AI, which is overhyped to death. Mr. Diller said, this is why he's an ex-executive and doesn't realize that technological advancements is kind of putting a huge damper on the industry, which is kind of where we want to transition after this and go to all of the cope that's going on in the media, just trying to paint this out as being, oh my God, just an existential threat. This is basically like COVID and the Kennedy assassination all wrapped into one. Whatever are we going to do? This is the biggest societal ill since the previous societal ill. No, like I said, this is a failure of your own making. If you had movie stars, if you had somebody who could successfully carry on the legacy of Indiana Jones, If you had a script that was worth filming, Indiana Jones 5 wouldn't need all of the mass media cover that it's getting. Because check this out. This is just absolutely dumb. Indiana Jones 5 breaks even at the box office. Oh, I'm sorry. What? It just all of a sudden started to jump up over the past couple of days, and now it's making 350. Well, actually, you'd have to go ahead and double for marketing, and that thing was marketed to hell and back. It ended up getting to what, $700 million? Is that what it ended up getting to? Okay. Well, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Dysentery didn't quite live up to studio expectations. No, it fell through the floor, even after all of the lowered expectations. At the box office, the film is not a total bomb. No, it's a 1,000% a total bomb, man. It's not going to make money. It's leaving hundreds of millions of dollars on the table, regardless of how much industry fluff is surrounding it, as it has now officially broken even on its exorbitant budget. Collider reports, oh, fuck right off, that the sequel, which is the fifth installment of the Indiana Jones movie series, has reached $302 million at the international box office. See, guys, it made back its budget. It's not like there's additional costs for reshoots and there's not additional costs for marketing. No, it made back its budgets. Don't worry about it. That pushes the film past its estimated budget of $300 million. See, everything's fine. We just estimate some stuff and it'll just all be fine. Around $145 million was earned domestically. Yeah, while another $157 million came from overseas ticket sales. So yeah, you have North America against the world and you're doing basically 50-50. You fucking suck. While climbing to $302 million is commendable, you're still, with marketing, with reshoots, with all of the additional costs over the top of it, you had an Indiana Jones film lose money. And just think about it. Just think about these. The first one, Raiders of the Lost Ark, came out in 1981. Absolute fucking classic. I can't say anything bad about that film. Not because I don't want to. It's just because there's nothing really bad to criticize about it. That was made for what? Adjusted for inflation? Not even $100 million? Budgets got way too big for these blockbuster films. Because you're seeing, even with Mission Impossible 7, people were looking at that going, that one's probably going to be the best performing film of the year. Is it going to get to $1 billion? We don't know. We're going to have to see what the week-on-week drop is. All the reports seem to be that it's going to be a pretty good hold. Even with the stiff competition over the weekend, which we don't know exactly how much is going to dig into that. But again, I don't really know the crossover between Mission Impossible and Oppenheimer, and let alone Mission Impossible and Barbie. Don't really know if that's going to be the case and if it's going to dig into it or not, but I'll be interested in seeing that. But you know what's not in the conversation? Indiana Jones, and that was the most expensive film out of all of them that were there. Not by much though, because that Mission Impossible film, that cost a lot of money, mostly because a lot of it was filmed during the coof stages, and well, all of those budgets just end up creeping up and up and up and up and up and up. Not because the quality continues to go up and up and up and up and up and up. It's just because there's so many leeches in the industry, which is kind of what this strike is hopefully achieving, is squeezing out all of the people that were just there and got hired because, oh, you're black, we don't have one of those around here. Oh, you're Asian, fantastic. Oh, you're a woman. Oh, just go ahead. We got a nice director's chair there specifically for you. And speaking of diversity hirings, I would say, man, if Disney puts out another absolute bomb in the form of their live action remakes, okay, like this is going to be the last time that we're going to see one of these absolute disasters. Put out a video from about a week ago. I think it was over the weekend or something like that. In regards to these screenshots, I guess they were set photos of just, I don't know, some B-roll stuff with the second unit that was out there, and everybody was just laughing at it. And it was like Snow Off White and the 7 diversity hires, or whatever the hell you wanted to call it. But Disney came out not long after that and went, wait, guys, nope, they're all just fake pictures. Don't worry about it. Rachel Ziegler's going to make for a wonderful Snow White. Don't mind her Hispanic origins. You're racist if you point that out. Disney's fine. Everything's great. But then Disney backtracks after Snow White's anti-woke backlash. Yeah, they were actually real. And yeah, this film is going to suck tremendously. While exclusive photos from the set to Disney's live-action adaptation of Snow White leaked last week, the internet reacted like someone had poisoned their apple. No, they looked at that and was like, fucking serious. The pictures published by Daily Mail showed Snow White. Yeah, exactly. There you can see Snow White, and nothing quite screams Snow White. Well, hey man. Let's just say if they were filming this in 1950, Snow White would be sitting at the back of the bus. At least this interpretation. The Mail headline, exclusive, Snow White and the 7 politically correct companions quickly made waves online as conservatives criticized the woke update. Well, yeah, no, that's exactly what it is. It's diversity for the sake of diversity, not for making a better story, not for making a unique or interesting story. It's simply subversive politics for the sake of it, well, and just being Disney after all. Disney later reversed the claim. The Disney representative told the Daily Beast, yuck, that the photos were fake and not from our production. Disney later reversed those claims and told the Daily Beast that the photos were from the set of Snow White. And we're like, fuck, okay. Though they were not official photos. Yeah, exactly. We know. That's not Rachel Ziegler. You know, she's just far too attractive to be confused with Rachel Ziegler. Adding to the confusion, the original Daily Mail article erroneously reports that actors Rachel Ziegler stated to portray the fairest of them all and Andrew Burnap, were pictured. Gal Gadot was on the set. To play the evil queen. Yeah, exactly. Gal Gadot, one of the most attractive women on the face of the earth, has to worry about the unbridled beauty of that, Venezuelan five. Like, what are we doing? In actuality, it was Ziegler and Burnap stand-ins who were in the shot. Yes, exactly. Elsewhere on the internet, conservatives have made it clear that they do not welcome the inclusive update to Disney's very first princess. Yeah, exactly, man. They'll react to it the exact same way they did with the Little Mermaid reaction. And it's like, wow, Ariel has been depicted as having red hair and white skin forever. And what do you want to do? Oh, you want to cast Halle Berry because she has a great singing voice? Well, she's got to act, and well, her acting's not exactly all that great. But Rachel Ziegler, she's known for such successful projects like West Side Story. Okay, cool. She was a part of West Side Story. Well, that was fantastic. But hey, she's only like 20 something. I don't know how she. Oh no, this Steven Spielberg one, that was an absolute flop. This is why Hollywood is in the shape that it's in. It's in the same shape as my voice right now. Nobody fails anymore. Everybody just continues to fail up. When you're a writer and you put out some absolute dog shit, you just take this. Take this for example. Does anybody remember the Loki streaming show that came out? What was that, last year or 2 years ago? The guy who did a vast majority of the writing on that, Michael Waldron. Absolute clusterfuck of a production that was over there on Loki. He ended up getting the big writing job for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. And if you have about 6 hours of your time to set aside, you can go watch Mahler's absolute takedown of that. I think it's one of the finest videos that's over YouTube. Definitely worth your time, just to show how untalented, contrived, and what a complete disaster, as he put it, it's an unbridled cataclysm, that entire film is. And guess what? He did such a great job with that production, he's going to be writing the next 2 Avengers films. See, nobody fails in Hollywood. Rachel Ziegler might be a wonderful lady. She might be a fantastic actress, but she's been in a bunch of bombs. She was not the right casting for this, okay? They would never, ever, ever race swap somebody in a different direction. If they need to recast Black Panther, do you think that I'd get a call for the role? I don't quite think so. If they're going to be doing a Martin Luther King Jr. biopic, is Ryan Gosling going to be rung up? I don't think so. But no, they continue to plow ahead with this absolute dog shit. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs has a very specific canon. Those right there don't belong in that. One, maybe. There's a specific dress, there's a specific look, and this shit ain't got it. Disney knows it. Everybody knows it in the industry. They are one of the leading, if not the leading, causes, the underlying causes as to why the strike is happening. Exploding budgets where films have to make just about $1 billion in order to break even or turn a bit of a profit. We're at a point in time now, thanks to the biggest beneficiary of all of Hollywood's support, Joe Biden, tanking the economy. So yeah, people being choosy when it comes to going to the cinema and supporting new entertainment. So why would they be spending any of their 3 hours of their time, 3-4 hours by the time that you cordon off time that it takes to go down to the theater, find the spot, pick out the suites, and spend, depending on how many people are coming along with you, anywhere upwards of $50 to $100 for an evening at the movies to watch a film that you'll walk away and go and forget about in a couple of days' time. Why would you go support that? And then underlying that, unless it's a Tom Cruise joint, you understand that you're looking at the people who detest your very being. Nobody's signing up for that shit anymore. So yes, this is the worst point in time, and I'd have to agree with our billionaire friend over here, Barry Diller, that yes, the industry is heading for absolute collapse if the strike isn't resolved, but if both sides aren't going to budge, guess what? Or budge rather, let them burn. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.